But I just love the fact that all the plants play bongos.
Some of them just sort of do this. Well, that's odd.
Yeah.
And
I was loving. There was a certain sense of humour to it because I was thinking, look at all these extras, right? Act blind, and so they look like those mimes.
Hey, welcome to Screen Time, the show where we like to watch movies from our past and re-experience them, or watch new movies afresh.
Yes.
And if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe so that you don't miss any future videos.
Yeah.
Welcome to our cubbyhole.
Yes, we're back in here again. I mean, until I get a better room, this is what we're stuck with, I'm afraid.
It's a bit tight. It's a bit warm in here today.
And it is very warm. This week we watched Day of the Triffids from 1963.
The Day of the Triffids.
This is an original story from by John Wyndham, who wrote quite a lot of books that were turned into movies around the 50s, 60s period. And the premise is quite interesting, really. What you love.
No, it's just funny, isn't it?
It's quite a bizarre idea.
I mean, it's bizarre, but somehow we buy into it.
I mean, yeah. There is a world where these plants have come to Earth on a meteorite.
Yes.
And they've been sort of dormant, not really very active at all.
This is a newcomer, Triffids celestis.
And then there's an event that happens where we get there's a meteor shower that is in the sky, and it happens over the entire Earth during this one night cycle.
All reports confirm that the world is witnessing an unprecedented shower of meteorites.
So the whole Earth has been subjected to these meteorites. And the problem is these meteorites, if humans watch them or looked at this event happen, they go blind. So we end up in a world where nearly every human is blind unless they haven't seen this event happen. And we are introduced to the main character who's had an accident. I believe in this story he was a sailor. Yes. And he'd had an accident, and so he had an eye operation. He'd had his eyes covered in bandages, so he didn't see the celestial event that was meant to be amazing, and the visuals were kind of cool.
Yes.
It was quite fun. And so he is protected from this event.
Why can't I take a look at what's going on outside? You're going to take the bandages off in the morning anyway.
I'm afraid not, Mr. Mason.
So he wakes up in the morning, and he's past his time where he's going to be having these things cut off him, these bandages cut off him, and he's the only one that can see. And I think what is startling actually in that very first beginning is when he finds the doctor, and the doctor says, please lead me to my office. He leads him to his office, and he shines the light in the doctor's eyes, and the doctor says, I can't see anything. Are you sure you're shining the light? And yes. He goes, oh, okay. He says the optic nerve has been destroyed.
Yeah.
You're probably one of the few people left in London who can still see this morning, Mason.
But there's a great sequence where he says, oh, just go and get something from my office, and walk into the foreground. And then you see the doctor behind this reeded glass, and you see the doctor run towards the window and jump out of the window.
Well, he opens the window, you see him step back, and then he just
launches out.
Ah, here it is.
Yeah, I mean we've gone quite into the movie at that point, but
sorry.
Yeah, no. It's like we haven't really set it up, but never mind. But yes, but you do realise from that point that it's quite. It's serious, and they will get rid of characters, and it's not going to be very nice.
Yeah.
There will be some visuals and things like that for it to be so extreme.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say.
I suppose I haven't even actually mentioned that these things start the plants up as this threat as well. So the main story
straight to the first death.
The main story part is this meteorite event actually activates these Triffids, which are these plants. And they are flesh-eating.
They. I mean,
carnivorous.
Yeah, they're carnivorous. So I mean, the movie starts up with a very sort of hypersaturated, beautiful images of plants, and there's a narration that's happening.
Oh, yes.
We're going to go to the start and just describe this.
Yeah, let's start. Start again.
So the movie starts with these sort of beautiful, hypersaturated photographs of like spring. They're talking about spring, and they're talking about plants and everything. Each image is very beautiful, and it's all about beautiful nature. And you realise that you're at Kew Gardens, and they're talking about types of plants.
In nature's scheme of things, there are certain plants which are carnivorous, or eating plants.
And they talk about the Venus flytrap being a carnivorous plant. And then they introduce you to the Triffids.
The Triffids.
And then I don't know if it's them introducing you to the Triffid now and then it's of the same day, or they go back in time.
I think they go back in time to describe it, because that's when they reveal that the Triffid had arrived on a meteorite and is now populating the planet.
So then you get introduced to the tale.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, there's several things that are happening at once, because you have the gentleman in the hospital who's had the eye operation.
Yeah.
Free tickets. Take any seat in the house. Here I am.
And so he's not seeing the meteor shower.
Yeah.
And then you have a guard who's in the Kew Gardens. And so you're introduced to two different aspects of the story. One is the meteor shower that blinds everyone. And the second one is how the plants move and attack their victims. And they do say that the plants uproot themselves and start to move. And I loved the Kew Gardens scene, actually, because the meteor shower is really colourful. You've got pinks, you've got purples, you've got blues. And they use this lighting to light up the guard as he's walking through, this conservatory.
Yeah.
And he hears sort of shuffles and things like that. And you're thinking, no, it can't move.
Time to time with the latest reports as they reach us.
And the lighting is very clever, because you know that they're using practical
it's usually
puppeteering.
I think it's actually someone in a costume.
Yeah.
Actually.
But they don't show the full thing. No. And there's like little movements of its face. I mean, and then, a little root moves, or it just, some of them just sort of do this, and they don't really move at all. But you're like, well, that's odd.
Yeah.
And that's odd. Kind of put me off of going to Kew Gardens, if I'm honest. But yeah, I mean, but it sets these up, and it sets up the fact that, these plants do attack people.
Yeah.
So I liked the start of this because it starts straight off. Yeah. And to be honest, the music at the beginning was very it. And then there was an aspect of the music as well that felt like there was a rhythm. There was a very much like a which felt like running. So you got a sense that, okay, maybe people are going to be trying to run or escape or something.
I was impressed with this film because I think that so much of it was shot on locations as well. You had a lot of London locations, certainly well before 28 Days Later, where you have like streets in London that are devoid of people and they're walking around these environments. Some of it is with the use of matte paintings and stuff like that, but the majority of them seem to be just location shots. And they did that in London and in Paris. I mean, I'm not sure if they actually used Paris or whether it was a French town, but it certainly was all on location. And in Spain as well. So you know that a lot of the money went on this, and it looks good. I think it looks great. As you said, the design of the lighting, they don't reveal the plant too much. You can't really until later on in the movie where you see maybe a little bit too much.
When they're walking when they're in the forest and they can't seem to get away from there.
But even then, they use lots of fogging and stuff like that, and other foliage to disguise the shapes. Which I think, because I think if you reveal too much of them, you realise some guys are this thing. But it's effective.
It's really effective, and also, I mean, you mentioned 28 Days Later, And it is the same setup. You know, you have somebody in a hospital that
Yes.
wakes up at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're kind of like, you know, they've got the bandages on their eyes. They can't see anything currently, and they're thinking, hold on a minute, there's no one around. They unbandage themselves, and suddenly there's disarray in the hospital.
Yes.
For that person, it must be such a shock, because you think, hold on, did I just sleep one night? Because there's it's carnage. There's things fallen down. There's no one around. You're thinking, what has happened here? And then, of course, as the person is sort of standing in a stair, like in the hallway, and then like a hand just comes and just taps him on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Dr. Soames.
I mean, yeah, and you realise it's the doctor, and it's suddenly there's this complete rebalance.
Yes.
Because, you know, they were all helping him, saying, you'll be fine in the morning, you'll be seeing in the morning.
There was such a seniority.
And suddenly,
isn't there?
like, he's having to help the doctor.
Yeah.
And it's crazy in a way. It's so shocking when he decides to jump out of the window and he takes his life. And, you know, you think, hold on a minute, because he's like, can you go and get something from my desk? And, you know, when he realizes that he is blind and that there's no way he's going to get his sight back, it's burnt like the
eye
connection,
stem.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's like, can you go and get something from my desk? And that's when, you know, you just see the blur of him opening the window and just jumping out.
But I just
and
love
it's
that.
So shocking.
Yeah, it is. It's a real
shock. And you
shock.
just suddenly think, oh my God, that's actually such an extreme, quick reaction.
I don't envy you. I don't think I'd care to see the things that you're likely to see.
But then when you think about it, when he goes outside and there's people like trying to maneuver around London, and you realise, wow, okay. People are in such a state, like nobody can help anybody.
Yeah.
And they're just going to perish.
Yeah. There was, well, I obviously I was watching this.
Were you laughing?
I was laughing. There was a certain sense of humour to it, because I was thinking, look at all these extras. He walks down the road and there's no one. And then suddenly on cues, people start coming into shot and they're all like,
yeah.
And there's one guy on a statue, like just touching up this statue. And I'm like, well, you must realise that that's a statue. Do you know what I mean? It's like, right, act blind. And so they're all doing this stuff. Just like they look like those mimes. So it did make me laugh a little bit, and it was a bit heavy, but I guess it's of its time.
But it's
so
of its time, but also after you've had the doctor doing that, and then you cut to, and you actually think of the severity of the situation and how awful. And I mean, in some ways, the film for me, thinking about it, it feels like definite set pieces.
Yeah.
It kind of cuts and he comes into a location and something happens.
Yeah.
Then he cuts and then he's in the train station. I mean, I loved the train station, you know, with the people like falling over the suitcases and all of that.
Do not light matches. Stay clear of all electrical equipment.
And then this train comes in and you realise that the driver is blind and it doesn't stop. And it just crashes
through. Yeah.
I mean, that was a really good.
That was great.
It was a surprise.
Yeah.
I forgot so many of these things in this movie.
Me too.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
And when that came in, I was just like, whoa.
What I liked about it is that because you had all these little vignette events that were happening, it reminded me of watching like a show like The Walking Dead or something like that, where you go to a certain town and then there's some quirk about the town and you realise they're not all good, and it's human interaction that causes these things. And the same with this movie is like they go to different locations and different events happen, and it's not necessarily the plants that are the issue. The plants are these people that are desperate and blind, and then some of them that take advantage of them, like when they go to, is they in France? It's in France.
Do you live near here?
5 kilometers.
Well, show us the way.
There's this vehicle that had criminals in it going to prison. Because they were locked in this vehicle, they didn't see the events, and so they were sighted, and they managed to get out of this thing, and they go to this house where they are all staying, and they are abusing everybody in the house because they are sighted. and so it switches everything around your expectations. But I just think it was like the forerunner of some of these movies, these survivalist movies that you see.
I mean, it very much centralizes around. I can't remember the main character's name, the gentleman from the hospital.
Oh gosh, it's so crazy.
But I know it's terrible.
Yeah.
But it all seems to center around him, because when he helps a little girl.
Drop that child.
She's like an orphan, I think.
Yes.
And they end up traveling together. So they're like a little team that go around, and they're basically supporting each other.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm going to take you to the ship, take you to my ship. And so he goes down to the docks and he goes on board the ship. And at this point, you think it's just London, or you think it's just the UK. And then he gets on board this ship, and the radio gives us so much more information.
Mayday, mayday. If you read me, come in, please. SS Midland calling.
I was going to say this.
And in some ways, it really, it's quite
the
shocking,
link.
actually.
I think
it's loads of different languages.
Yeah.
And she's translating the French, and then you go to another country and you realise that it's everywhere. And that just kind of just heightens everything. And then there's a plane.
Stand by for emergency landing. Please put us down.
And that, for me, actually was probably one of the worst ones, because you've got these blind pilots trying to talk to a tower where you know that they can't. And they're going to run out of fuel. They probably don't even know where they are. They're asking if they can come into land. The passengers are all blind but are being calmed, and they're being told, no, the pilots are fine, it's okay.
Please fasten your safety belts as we are about to land.
And then suddenly, they all suddenly realise. I think a child goes, "Is that the pilot's blind too?" or something.
Someone
and then,
mishears and goes, "The pilots are blind," and then they all just go crazy.
They go crazy.
Yeah.
And you know that the plane is they just come into land and the plane crashes. But what's so shocking for me is that the plane actually crashes right next to where they are on the boat.
That made me laugh, actually.
I was
laughing. Everywhere this thing could crash is literally just right here.
Right next to them. And actually, there wasn't really much damage either. There was a bit of, they were like, oh, we should probably get off the boat now.
Yeah.
And they go off the boat and there's a bit of smoke. And I was thinking, that's so weird that it crashed there.
That for me was but what I did like, though, is that any time that it went to more of a global situation, and it was always through the radio. They would hear a story, and then the camera would cut to the event that was happening, that was being described on the radio. I thought that was really clever. I thought that's a really good way of doing it, instead of just jumping to these weird locations for no explanation. So I really like that. For me, I think the film dips a little bit when they get to when they get to Spain, and then there's the couple who the wife is she's naturally blind. She was born blind, so she is more adaptable in where they are in the situation.
Teresa, 3 guests. This is my wife, Teresa.
And it just takes a bit of a lull there for me, but I do like when you see the plants en masse, though, it does kind of feel a little bit like. I think it's their noise.
Like sunflowers to me.
I mean, they electrify them on the fences and stuff like that.
But only a couple seem to get affected.
Yes, all the others in the background are fine, but the main setup of these are ones in the front. But I just love the fact that all the plants play bongos. Do you know what I mean? They're like And I'm not sure if it quite worked, but
I forgot about that.
I was watching it.
Get the cells.
Yeah, get the exactly. But
no, well, there was an element of I think there's a couple in the lighthouse.
Yeah.
And initially I was thinking, that's not a bad location to be.
Agreed.
Somehow they actually make their way there and start attacking the lighthouse. Which is a bit, I'm not sure how.
I think
this is seeded. I guess seeds blow in the wind, so they get seeded.
They get seeded on this island.
And also, and then I did think, okay, they did mention about a delivery service that would bring food. So then you would probably starve there. So I thought maybe that's not a good place to be.
Yeah,
as an
yeah.
escape.
Once the
I
reveal
always think of an
happens, you're
escape
like, yeah.
thing when I watch these
And
movies.
also, as a couple, maybe they shouldn't have moved into isolation together because they do have these issues.
Yeah,
don't
they
He is
were-
a chronic alcoholic.
He was an alcoholic, yeah.
Let me go back where I can buy a bottle of scotch whenever I feel like it, not wait for a rotten boat to bring me a single bottle every 7 days.
But one
Somewhat
good
abusive as well.
Yeah, he was quite abusive. But they are scientists, and
Yes.
she was doing a lot of, you know, chemistry or something,
mhm.
and so they actually look into these plants. And when the plants attack, you actually see the plants' roots, and for me, they felt like hairy spider legs.
Yeah.
Which freaked me out, to be honest.
Well, they had this kind of one strong part that always seemed to be the thing that pulled them along.
Yeah.
So I thought that was actually quite a clever design. It was like one muscle
Like
thing,
a
that
root,
kind
a
of
big root.
that would
Yeah.
be the main thing that would pull us along. I still can't quite describe or can't describe.
If you had to draw it, you
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
know.
because it had a flowery head or
Yeah.
something, but it's still quite
But I guess that's a good thing,
Yeah,
because
that's
if
a good
you
thing.
actually saw it completely, you'd be...
Well, you become
you'd be
familiar with it.
judgmental, yeah,
You'd be
exactly.
familiar with what it
Yeah.
looks like and therefore judgmental. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all the tendrils and stuff felt really good.
And also they kind of blew out some kind of dust or powder or something, because when he carries the guy from in France,
Yes,
I can't remember who he was. He was
he was one of the helpers at
the house.
at that house,
and he gets like this dust in his face, and by the time he's carried him to the field, he's like all grey.
Yeah, and he's dead
Yeah.
as well. He's dead. So I guess the plants
like a poison.
poison you first and then devour you, I guess.
Yeah.
I was thinking, he's carrying a dead weight on his shoulders.
Literally.
Exactly, because when it gets there, it's like, oh, what a
But
waste of time. I mean, there's bits in it where you think, oh, I can see what's coming next, because they find this vehicle when they're in Spain, which is like an ice cream van that plays a really annoying tune. And they you think, oh, this is going to come in later on, and it takes them ages to realize that the plants are attracted to sound.
Yeah.
I think for me it was really apparent right at the beginning that they were, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's just my knowledge in my head that I knew this anyway.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe I got that wrong. I did get it wrong. Let's face it, I got it wrong.
There is one aspect that does date the movie for me.
Okay.
Of its time, and I actually loved it, but I found it quite amusing when they're in the lighthouse and the plants are attacking. You've got the husband or the boyfriend fighting off the plants, and then the camera keeps cutting to his wife, and she's just going like this. She doesn't do anything.
Pick up a mallet.
It's literally her
Yeah.
just doing these like scared
Screaming.
expressions.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to him fighting, and I just thought that aspect does date it.
Yeah, it's like.
But it was, now it just makes me giggle.
Oh, it made me giggle as
Yeah,
well,
but I
because it was like
loved
she's
that.
just standing there squirming. I was thinking she's been a strong, independent woman all this entire time, and telling him what and wherefore, and sort of doing the experiments and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when the plants actually, because she's the one that keeps looking out the window at them, he's
Yeah.
thinking, okay, hang on, she's, she needs to at least get an axe and at least have
Yeah.
a good go at it.
Yeah.
But I think that is definitely of its time. It's just like, the man should be the one, that you can't have some woman fighting these things. It's just like, come on. It's, but it is what it is.
It is, no, absolutely.
And it was fine.
It really jumped out at me.
Yeah,
It made me giggle quite a lot.
It made me laugh a little
Yeah.
bit as well. And I'm going to go back to the noise of the plants, because I'm not going to talk about the bongos. Yeah.
Okay.
But that was the main primary sound I was hearing. But when they were moving, particularly in scenes of dread, where there were subtler scenes of dread, like when right at the beginning in Kew Gardens,
Oh, yes.
and just where they're going through the forest after the little girl. every time I don't know what the Foley artist was using, but it felt like it was
Soaring?
custard or something like that, because it was slurpy. It was like, it was that kind of sound as they were moving. So it did have that squishiness to it that worked really well, I think. And less the bongos.
You're not quite sure what they're made of.
It's they felt it gave them an organic feel, definitely. I mean, I
think
guess
the bongos are probably more to do with the mouth and things, wasn't it? It's like things clacking together.
I mean, I know that in that BBC 70s version of it, they had the clicky sound. So maybe in the book, I haven't read the book, so maybe in the book they had a very distinctive sound to them, and they obviously that translated into the movie, and this is their interpretation of it. So I'm not going to hold them to that. So that's
fine.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think overall, I really like the look of this film a lot.
It surprised me because the last time I saw it, I'm sure I had it in my head that it was a black and white movie.
So did I.
So I was surprised that
It's
colour, unless I've watched the colorized version.
Well, no, I watched the colour one as well.
Okay, so, and it didn't feel painted. It didn't feel like it had been added on afterwards. So I think it was a coloured movie. And I was surprised by that. And it was good. Good fun. And I did enjoy it.
Good Sunday movie, I think. It's a nice Sunday movie. You can watch it with an afternoon cup of tea. Or cup of coffee.
Yeah, exactly. I think the ending is a little, I guess, rushed.
Yes.
Because you suddenly realise that, I mean, I love that sequence where he's hosing all of these plants down with seawater, because salt.
Seawater.
Yeah, didn't I say water?
Seawater.
Well. And they will start to dissolve. And the mush on the stairs is great. It's really sloppy and it's a weird colour. Is it green? It's like a mossy green.
Yeah.
I don't know what they used for that, but it was really effective. But I just found it a little rushed because it had that, and then it just cut to they're all going into this like church or a cathedral or something in Spain, and there's no resolution to the couple on the lighthouse. I'm like, it would have been nice to at least see them get on a boat and actually get off of this thing, even though they're the one. You think, well, okay, that must have happened for them to impart this knowledge to society. So you think, okay, that's fair enough. But it just ends
a little visual of it.
A little of that, just to, and did they make it as a couple or not? You know, that's
open for discussion.
Open for not too much of a discussion, but open for it. And I guess that's it. That is it.
But okay, rating wise.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a solid 7. It was fun. I mean, it's not one of the best not black and white, but best 60s kind of horrors that I've. You know what I mean? It's okay.
Yeah. It was certainly watchable.
Agreed. Yeah. I thought Howard Keel was great in it. He was, a solid, leading man in that.
Yes, definitely. I think I'd probably give it a 6.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, it was Sunday afternoon watch.
Sunday afternoon watch.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, let us know your thoughts if you've seen this movie and any comments that you might have for us on this.
Yeah.
And if you've enjoyed this movie, please like and subscribe. It definitely makes a difference for our channel, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And any recommendations of any movies similar time period would be great as
well.
We love them.
60s horrors or something like that, or creature features would be fantastic. Certainly ones that we haven't seen, because I've seen a few, but if there's any obscure ones that you know or you grew up with and you'd like us to have a look at, that would be brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. So, it's good to have new watchers.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, well, hopefully we will see you on the next one, but until then, bye.
Bye then.